Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. It is that day of the week we call Monday, the 19th of July. And of course, yeah, you see, I took my ears off for today. My ears need a rest. Um, oh, let's start with the basics. Number one, today is going to be a little cooler. As the temperatures in the East Coast anyway will kind of be in the mid 20s, where we will have 129-degree day. I believe that's going to be tomorrow. Where's it today? I don't remember. Anyway, it's going to be one day, it's going to be warmer, but the rest of the days are going to be mild in the 20s. So, mid 20s. So, just to let you know that. And, let's see. We have one person right now in chat. And we have 3 watching. Concurrent viewers, 1 like. And I'm going to get ready for the panel because Monica is not feeling well right now. So I think the heat's getting to her. And of course, it's been hot where she lives. So yeah, it's hard on people like this. I want to remind everybody, drink lots and lots of water. Okay? And easy on the fizzy drinks. I know you might say, yeah, well, I like my Sprite. Well, Sprite usually isn't a problem because it doesn't contain caffeine. I can't say the same thing with the other ones, like Mellow Yellow and Frescas, and I don't know about them, but definitely stay away from the colas. Okay, because they're not good for you. And I don't know if HFCS is really healthy either. It's just high fructose corn syrup. So yeah, just common sense says just drink, water and like 3 to 4 liters of it a day. I know that's a lot of water, but trust me, it'd be better for you to pee constantly than not pee enough, and then find out that all the urea in your system collects up, and then you end up getting kidney stones, and nobody wants those, right? Yeah, not me. So stay away from caffeine and just drink lots of water. Also, stay away from salty foods too for a while, because you know why? Salty foods have the same effect as the caffeine does. It's a diuretic. It's gonna dehydrate you. It's gonna make you miserable. So better safe than sorry. If you're not sure, please do talk to your doctor. I'm not a medical physician. I'm not trying to give you medical advice. I'm still saying that's some basic common sense. But if you really are concerned about this, you should make an appointment with your doctor to get a service and find out if there's anything he might want to recommend for more severe cases of heat exhaustion or worse, heat stroke. Heat stroke can require medical attention. Heat exhaustion, if treated early enough, doesn't really result in heat stroke. But if it's caught early enough. Now, if it's not caught early enough, they're going to be in the hospital in IV with getting a lot of fluids, which is what you should be doing anyway. So, just go ahead. You can get plenty of water, and you'll be fine. And try to keep cool. I know if you don't have air conditioning, that's miserably hard. Just, I understand it. I get it. So, so we had a very good music show last night. We had, a lot of people came. I think we had a peak of 5 people at one point. And, yeah, we had 5. We had 5 people came in. 4 plus me, which I guess isn't bad for a a situation like today. I mean, we got a lot of music in, and we played some MP3s, and Andrew Scott joined us and listened to the music as well. Someone called 000 was enjoying the music in addition to that. Um, Also, Gianni was there as well, listening to music for a bit. So we have some people that were there enjoying the music. Let's not let you know that. And reached out to a lot of people, and we had a good time. So, State of Connecticut's EBT SNAP pandemic relief money for those people in the state of Connecticut who are collecting food stamps. You guys will see your bonus coming in on the 23rd of July. And so if you're looking for finding out when your next bunch of emergency food stamp money is coming, it's the 23rd of July. My payment from YouTube is supposed to be coming to me on the 21st of July. So I'm looking forward to both. I have a hair appointment on the 29th of July, which, is going in. A lot of hair is going in. I don't know. This hair is really getting long. I have to admit, I'm not used to sleeping with long hair, and of course with ears. There's a story about that and the sleeping. I'm going to talk about this real quick. Okay. Here's this guy named Ed. He can sleep with his noisy fans roaring away, but he can't sleep next to somebody who's snoring away. I don't get this. I'm like, I'm tired. I'm crawled up into a nice little fetal ball, and I'm just basically having happy dreams. And okay, so I let a few, snores out. They say if you're snoring, the person's alive and breathing. So that's a good plus. Even though, come on, the fan was already set to high. It was already loud enough in there. And you're going to tell me you can't tolerate a person that snores? Keeps telling me to flip on my side. I told him, I am flipping my side. You gonna flip on your side more? I can't flip on my side more. I'm already on my side. How you doing, Craig? So, the thing is, I don't know how you can satisfy a person who can't stand the sound of a snore, but insists on having the sound of a fan. And then, of course, unfortunately, the fan is kicking up dust. And last night he was coughing up a storm. I mean, I did that a couple days ago myself. And I was like, Ed, I think we need to put some HEPA filters on these things because you're blowing all this dust into your lungs. Yeah. It's kind of frustrating to think about that. And he's like, I was going to do that with some window fans at Patty's house, and she's like, no, we're going to use commercially made devices. Oh, fine. Commercially made devices. I could have bought a couple of HEPA filters, stick them on my window fans, and be done with it. Instead, I don't think there was anything wrong with the little air cleaners she bought, but the thing was, the filters are kind of hard to get because they discontinued that model. Michelle, doing good. Just got back from my doctor's appointment for my back. So same old baloney. Do what you got to do and just deal with it. I hope you and everyone else is having a good day. Yeah, we are. I had a telemed appointment. The doctor told me that I'm doing okay as far as the labs go. He said since you haven't taken the metformin for a few days, your A1C is like 0.1 increase. I said, okay. And he says, but, overall, he said, you're doing okay. Yeah. And then, of course, let's not forget, too, is, it says, well, I want to sell my stuff on eBay. I'm like, oh man, I hate dealing with eBay. I hate doing this. I mean, originally the way it used to be done was a little more understandably simple. And then they came up with this. They changed like everybody else does. They changed their interface, and all of a sudden I'm like scratching my head, going, "Wait, what do I do? What now?" Well, I have to flip these little tiny toggle switches on the software to select between auction, buy it now, and ugh. So I got it up there. I got his listing up there, and of course we had to go through his two-factor authentication. Oh my god! I mean, eBay has become really complicated. We'll jump on the panel in a bit. Okay, thanks, Andrew. All hailing frequencies are open. Okay. Yeah. So what's the temperature in your location, Monica? Has the temperature calmed down any, or is it still spicy? She's on the west coast. She's in the western United States, where the heat waves, wind, and droughts are, and so she's struggling with the heat. Fortunately, I don't have to worry about the heat is bad, but it doesn't mean we don't have our own heat. Let's get Siri involved. What is the weather in Winston, Connecticut? I'm on.
It's currently cloudy and 22 degrees in Winston, Connecticut.
Right. Okay, so that's what today would expect a high today of 23. Tuesday is going to be a high of 30. Wednesday will be a high of 25 with 40% chance of thunderstorms. So, with going through the rest of the week, I don't see, except for Tuesday, the temperatures seem more hospitable. Although I do see some 28s by next Tuesday and next Monday. So, it's gonna be warming, but it's not gonna be excessively. Let's see what the humidity is. What is the humidity in Winston, Connecticut? Siri must be very busy. do. 30 degrees in most places on here in the UK thing. Oh yeah, I know. I have empathy for
I'm
you.
having some trouble with the connection. Please try again in a moment.
Nope, not happening. What is the humidity in Winston, Connecticut? How many ounces in a liter? 33. Yeah. I think it's 33.6.
Winston, Connecticut's current humidity is 83%.
Oh, okay. Thanks. That gives me an idea. So it's cooler, but the relative humidity is higher, so. Yeah. Just, just make sure to stay humid, stay hydrated. Also, one thing you can do is check your pee. Because if your pee is like a darker yellow, that means you need more water. If your pee is light or almost clear, no fear. Okay, that's basically no. That sounds gross. But the truth of the matter is, your if your pee's too dark, that means you get a lot of urea in your pee, and that's the water is needed to help flush the urea out of your system because urea is insoluble salt as far as water goes. What did you see yesterday? Yeah, what did you saw yesterday? Okay, Andrew's ready to join. Let's get him on the screen. Come on, computer. Good morning. How you doing?
Hey, Michelle, how you doing today? I'm fine.
I'm
Fine,
doing
thanks.
all right.
Yeah,
So
pretty
you,
good. I'm tired, but not too bad, thanks.
yeah, you got a chance to enjoy the music show finally.
I did, and it was really good. It wasn't what I expected it to be. It was actually really, really good. I liked the mixture of the music you had on it, and I liked the instrumental stuff you played as well. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah. By the way, so you said it wasn't what you expected it to be. What did you expect it to be? Me having a whole
Um,
choir in here
I
singing?
expected a lot of stuff like that. I expected a lot of like Warcraft music and which is fine, but I thought it might be more of that. When it was under the title of North America, no,
Right.
what's it called? Silvermoon Radio, yeah, that's what it's called. And
Well, there
so I
isn't a
expected a
lot of
bit more of
Warcraft.
that.
There, I was gonna say, but there not is a lot of Warcraft music at all. I don't think there
Right.
has been too many pieces of it that were ever created. It's certainly not enough to fill up, a whole 5 hour show anyway.
No,
um,
no.
but I do want to look into um, getting some more advertising. What I mean by that is Silvermoon type advertisement for the local Silvermoon businesses, um, and jingles and things like that. Just because it is a radio show, so yeah, you're gonna have advertising. You're gonna have like Thurman's livery and the Windrest Accord Inn, and of course the Murder Row Inn. You're gonna have ads for them, plus the Falcon Wing Square and then there's the fabric shops, the tailors, the banks. They all probably want to have advertising, so you're probably
Yeah.
figuring out if you can get a couple people to put the ads together, and then you could basically just rotate through the MP3s and update them as needed.
Yeah, I
You
think
know,
you did a good job. I didn't. I had to have it on quite low, obviously, because of where I was. But
right?
I could go in and out and hear it now and again, and then I would hear you like sometimes speaking and introducing. Were you introducing the next record? Because sometimes it was obviously because I had the phone on quite low. It was quite hard to hear sometimes. So I don't know if you were introducing the next song or you were taking requests or something like that.
Yeah. Well, the records for a minute I thought that the stack kind of ended a little prematurely. Maybe it didn't. But even so, I thought it was pretty good. Me basically getting a little bit annoyed with the turntable. I kind of think was maybe it was a little bit presumptuous.
Right. No,
Because I
it was
looked
good.
at when the last record was over, it was an hour and a half, and that was about right. I said, "Oh, okay, no,
Yeah, because at first I was hearing sort of like instrumental music, like there was no singing or anything like that, and
yeah,
I really liked that. I thought to myself, that's the sort of thing I could have listened to if I was at home, and, and just like falling asleep to, like in a good way, of course. But and then you played like how would I say regular music as well
yeah."
afterwards, and I thought that was pretty good as well. Nice mixture.
Well, I
So
play a little bit of
caters to a lot of
everything.
taste.
We even played
Yeah.
we even played Christian gospel.
Yeah, exactly. And again, stuff like that. If you're catering to a lot of people's tastes, it's everyone's everyone's happy.
Yeah,
Apart from the rap lovers
I
and
was singing a couple times,
the heavy
Monica. Yeah, I was
heavy
singing a
metal
couple
fans.
times.
Oh, yeah, I didn't hear you singing right enough, but So today, Michelle, is National Freedom Day. for anyone south of the border. So all restrictions have been officially lifted in England. There's no restrictions whatsoever now. So people are getting married today. They're going out partying. They started partying at midnight, and they've been partying all night.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens next.
Yeah, especially since the Delta variant's still out there, and
That's it. Yeah.
in fact,
Because they're
48
predicting.
states or 47 states, I'm sorry, are seeing heavy cases because of the Delta variant, and who knows what's gonna happen. I hope to God they don't go back into lockdowns. That's the last thing you need. This country's
Yeah,
already.
I think though, Michelle, if they do, if governments do try to go back into a lockdown, I think they'll have a lot more resistance to it now because people will be a lot more fed up of having to go back down that route again. I don't know. I wouldn't like to be a world leader right now. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, because I mean, if we go back to the time, I think our economy will never survive.
No, I think it would be very
Because the
difficult to
government's
get.
damage is already done because of the first
Yeah,
lockdowns.
absolutely.
And now we have super inflation coming because of a variety of the causes. There's many of them causing the super inflation, but one of the biggest ones is shipping costs.
Absolutely, yeah. I see that all the time, and it's just rising. And you just know it's going to be. It's such a fine line because if you go down to another lockdown route, it's just going to be so difficult to get out of that hole.
Yeah.
Um, so I just don't see how they can. As I say, I would not like to be a world leader right now. I would like the money. Don't get me wrong. I'd like the. That's the only part I'd like, but not to have to deal with all this sort of stuff.
Yeah. Our state is 69% Delta increase. Yeah, Utah is one of the ones with the highest cases. Michelle, you were speaking
That's true.
before. I guess, and snoring. No, I was snoring. It was bitching about me snoring, and and using fans is not good if you have allergies. They are dragging out pollen, polluted air, and small. Yeah, they definitely do. We're thinking about,
Yeah, all right.
since the box fans, maybe we should put like two 48-inch furnace filters on them. That way, or 36-inch furnace filter. I have to double check the size. I don't think it's any bigger than 30-inch. But find a just go attach a furnace HEPA filter to the fan to help keep all the pollen, the dust, the dander out of there and from being constantly circulated. That's why if I ever buy a house, we're not going to have one with hot air heat. And if we do, there's going to be a lot of hot air ducts removed because the hot air heat is really bad for the wintertime. Maybe for the air conditioning, but then we'll just put in hot water heat instead so that for the winter, because that's less likely to be kicking up dust mites, dander, and everything else.
Yeah, Craig was saying that 6 of the Yankees have tested positive for it, and yeah, I mean, I'm seeing the people in the Olympics already before the games have even started. There's people testing positive in the Olympic Village. Like athletes are already starting to test positive, and they're going to keep going ahead with this because it's money. There's so much money invested in this now. They can't afford to not go through
The
with it. If
thing
that makes sense.
Craig, is let's be honest. This this situation is man made and
Yeah,
definitely man exasperated. Or aggravated, because you look at the situation. I mean, we people have get pneumonia, people get the flu, people get other illnesses, and yet we never do lockdowns for those things. And we know that pneumonia is a bacterial infection and it's bad, but this is like they made it. They made. I think, as far as I'm concerned, I think that they're taking this the wrong way with lockdowns.
how do you mean? Just look. too strict or not strict enough, or
I think that some cases they're being too strict, and I think
right?
this is creating a problem where people can't even build up immunity because they're being.
Yeah, yeah,
So that means that when they finally do come out, if somebody still does have it, it's quickly going to spread because
yeah.
no one's got an immunity to it. Some
That's
people
right.
will. Some people will come out of this fine. It's the ones that don't is the ones you have to be
Clin-
careful about.
yeah, the clinically vulnerable and people like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting, Michelle. Let's put
Michelle,
it that way.
Andrew, and Monica, my daughter, has been waiting for her gas range for 7 months now, and that was two PC Richards. The used range market is going crazy with prices. The used range market is. Don't people already have a stove in their home? I mean, don't they already have a cooker? I mean, why would they need another cooker? Um,
Yeah, one's enough for me.
Michelle,
Microwave, that'll do me.
is there any news on the supplementary checks for the seniors that you know of? Sometimes I see yes on the internet. Sometimes I see no. I have no idea what you have. Any news? Well, let's put it this way. Right now, they haven't voted yet or even written up the American Families Plan. So, unfortunately, the bill isn't even written. So, all I'm hearing is a lot of conjecture. In the
Yeah.
case of Blind Billionaire, he believes that there will be supplemental and SSI, VA, or BSSD. There will be a supplemental income, what they call basically a basic guaranteed basic income or GBI. He said, never mind the terminology. He said, I know, I just confused everybody with this on
Yeah.
this channel trying to explain
Jargon
between
and the lingo.
the different types of basic incomes. But he said basically he believes that it's going to be anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a month recurring, specifically targeted to the low income and the retirees within a
Okay.
certain income bracket. So again, that's he doesn't have the actual clear legislation because the legislation hasn't been written yet. We know that they're going to be voting on the American Jobs Plan or Infrastructure Plan, as Chuck Schumer said, by next week. But the problem is that Nancy Pelosi does not want to vote on the bills one at a time. She wants to have them both in her hot little paws to present to the House. So,
Okay.
in short, they better get out of this off the pot and do something because
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
are really
They need to.
seriously desperate right now in the low incomes,
Hmm.
especially. Um, you guys have something similar in the UK,
Yep.
authorized by the WPA for disability people and retirees. And
Yep.
so what they're doing is they're just stringing us along. If worse comes worse, don't expect anything until after they come back from the 1 month holiday, which wouldn't be
When what?
until
What yeah.
September when
When
they
do they have their
return.
holiday?
Yeah.
Because here they get 2 weeks holiday. The politicians get like a 2 week summer break. And I understand everyone needs a holiday, but when you think to yourself, I think to myself, well, we're going through such a really bad, crisis, at the moment. You think they'd maybe cut it a little bit, or at least give us a plan that we know what's going to work and what we can work with to come out of this mess, not just have us guessing or them guessing the whole time, you know,
Right.
until it gets too severe. Because as you said as well, a lot of it's conjecture at the moment. A lot of it's guessing, guesswork. We need a proper plan we can work with, so at least we know. But it's a very unpredictable situation, so I can sort of see both sides. But
Wait.
you do need something to work on.
Like I said, is the politicians. Honestly, I don't care which country you're in. Majority of them just don't care about those below a certain income bracket because the ones below a certain income bracket don't really support the campaigns.
Right, I
Um,
hear you. No, yep.
which is kind of sad. Thinking about that way, they're thinking about is, oh, they're like my patrons. They're like, oh, gee, oh, you only get, 17,000 hours a year. Oh, guess what? You're not important to me. Why do you mean that we're not important to you? If you're a good politician, we'll stand behind you and rally for you. But if you act like a total jerk, we're not going to stand behind you. Okay?
Well, the thing is with that, Michelle, people remember stuff like that when they vote in the next election. That's the thing. People don't forget these sort of things. So they
Yeah.
really need to come up with if they want to, the parties that are in power in all the countries just now, if they want to stay in power and then the next election comes, they're going to have to really, this is a terrible thing to say in a way, they're almost going to have to use this crisis as a real thing for people to remember, okay, this government got us out of this crisis, so we'll never, forget them for that. And that'll stick in people's minds because this is one of the worst things
Right.
most of us have had to deal with for a long time.
It's just like I said, when I think of the politicians, they're like, they don't care about us, but we sure the heck are gonna make their lives miserable when it comes election time, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Because they more than likely the Democrats. In fact, they even kind of acknowledge it that they're gonna lose the Senate and maybe the House in November of 2022.
So what happens there then? What would happen? Would there be like a split party, two parties rule in one country? I don't really understand how it works there, but
Well, basically, what it means is if the Democrats right now, which has a majority in the House and a tie in the Senate, when the Republicans means that if they lose any seats in the Senate to Republicans, then the Democrats are going to lose the majority. And right now, they're doing what they're doing with reconciliation because they are right now their majority because you got the president who's also and the vice president who's also a Democrat. So they can pass things through the reconciliation process. The problem is once they lose that tie in the Senate, if it becomes more Republican, they can't pass things through with the reconciliation process. That's one of the reasons why they're rushing out to pass all this stuff now, is because they realize that they know in 2022 they're out of there. And because the House is up for re-election every 2 years, so the House right now is got a slight Democratic lead. So what's going to happen is they lose that, they're not going to have the Democratic majority.
right.
So then, of course, 1/3 of the senators are up for re-election every 2. So a third of the Senate gets re-elected every 2 years. So, which means again that the Democrats are afraid they're going to lose the Senate. Well, do you want to use reason why the Republicans lost the Senate? Same damn reason, because Mitch McConnell did not work with his party to pass the Cash Act. And so when the Georgia runoffs came up, guess what? He lost 2 Republican seats, which gave it to which made it a tie in the Senate. So now we have to see what's going to happen with that for the future. Her new appliances and everything. It was original in house, so she's waiting for a lot of the parts. Right.
Carolyn was saying disability is barely enough to raise a Happy Meal, and that's just, I feel really bad for people are really struggling through this just now, and it's almost like there's a real
Disability
big
barely
divide.
got enough for a raise this year.
Right.
To be a Happy Meal. Right, that's true. Most people with disability get crap. Okay? However, expected COLA for next year could be as much as 6%. coolant increase.
Okay.
So that's pretty good. Um, that's not even talking about the Social Security reform that they wanted to do. That's another thing that was also in the originally was going to be in the American Families Plan was the Social Security reform, which was going to give people on Social Security more money.
Mhm. Again, that's a major vote winner. Social Security, policing, and these sort of issues are the things that tend to stick in people's minds when they go to the ballot box next time around.
Yeah. Well, what about
And if they mess that up, then
well, what's the
sorry, Michelle.
WPA doing for the people in the UK with pensions? I mean, you guys. I know you're in Scotland, but I'm sure you have your own equivalent of the WPA also, the
It's
Workers'
pretty similar,
Pensions
to be honest.
Administration.
Yeah, you get unions and stuff here. We have a lot of unions, but at the moment, because we're only just getting back to work, if that makes sense. I mean, everything. It's not just here. It's everywhere else in the world. Prices are going up with everything you buy. Um, you look left, right, and center. This has went up. That's went up. This has went up. But at the moment, it doesn't seem like people's pensions, people that I know that are on certain other payments, they're not going up with the prices of other things, and
Right.
so people are
Same
getting quite
here.
frustrated as well. Yep, very similar, Michelle. It's the guy that's in charge of the UK as a whole. He's making a lot of mistakes just now. He's he's not particularly popular himself, but his party are the only electable party at the moment, if that makes sense. So because the other party, the left wing, I mean, I'm very centre anyway, as a rule. But the other party, the left wing party, they get you into a lot of debt, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
They always have done. They're notorious for that. But on the other hand, the party that are in just now, they tend to be the other way, But they've had no choice. Everyone's had no choice but to borrow, borrow, borrow this time around because of the situation we're all in at the moment. So we're all going to have to pay back at the end of the day. It's going to be in the form of taxes, obviously. But nobody likes to pay higher taxes, but nobody likes
Yeah,
to pay higher anything.
they did
HEI.
proposing a tax hike on the well-to-do in the United States in the American Families Plan.
Okay, sure.
But obviously they're gonna have to get money from something. I'm a moderate myself, what you'd call a centrist. I'm not. Um, I'm not a far left. I'm not a far right. I'm definitely in the center.
Yeah.
A little bit of Republican, a little bit of Democrat. um, I'm definitely. It's kind of like I'm a little bit country and a little bit rock and roll. All right.
Right. Right.
It's okay because it works out for me because I try not to get to one side or to the other side, but try to look at things from both. I do see where the Republicans are particularly whining about the prices of the American Families Plan, but then the Democrats are saying is this is being based on money that you've already allocated from the other stimulus checks programs you didn't spend. We're just reusing the
Yeah, you
money
never use the
again.
money up. Yep,
Well,
that's
that's
right.
great, but um, man, much join the public disc. Okay, tired and hit headachy. Okay,
Yeah, it seems like everyone's dying on stream today, apart from me, and I was working last night. Damn you
yeah.
all. But I was saying, Charlotte, I didn't get a firebomb. That's all I'm gonna say.
So the point is that you guys in the UK, most homes don't have air conditioning.
No, no, it's not something that's really thought of as needed here. At the moment, I wouldn't say no to it, but it's not really something that's
What do
maybe
you
in
guys
20,
get?
30 years' time.
Do you got window air conditioners like we got, or do you guys got?
Say for example, in the hotel or something like that, or in like places of like public.
Yeah.
bars or restaurants. It's just those sort of air conditioners.
Right.
But in homes, I rarely see one in a home.
Because we got air
It's not
conditioners we
just.
stick out of our windows, which,
Oh right, I know the kind you mean. Yeah, I know
well, they're
what you're talking about.
okay, but then you can't open the window for fresh air.
Right. Yes, that's exactly one I'm thinking
So
of.
it's either all or nothing. You either get air conditioner or you get nothing. Of course, I love the air conditioners you guys have in most hotel rooms. They're awesome. They go through the wall, and it's just nice because they don't block the window.
No,
You
we
know,
get a lot of complaints at the time. They complain about anything else, Michelle. Don't give them anything else to complain about.
really? Well,
Yeah, so Monica's dehydrated. Charlotte's got a headache.
yeah,
I'm quite tired.
yeah. I'm tired too. Because it kept waking me up and saying, "You're snoring." Who cares? I'm sleeping. I don't care if I'm
See, I was
snoring in
supposed
my sleep. I can't tell. Basically, look, I'm tired. I was on until about 1 in the morning. Well, because we had a show after the music program ended
all right, okay.
on Discord. So it was off the record kind of thing.
Mhm.
And so it ended about 1 o'clock in the morning. And I was just tired.
That's late. That is late. Yeah.
Yeah.
I must admit though, the time did go fairly quicker than I thought because it didn't seem because I hadn't done a like a night shift for a long time. So, but it was fine. You know, wasn't too bad. I'll sleep well tonight. That's for sure.
So how big was the box of washing powder you had to bring down to the laundry?
Not as big as what it was made out to be, but the woman is like 6 months pregnant or something like that. So I didn't expect her to be able to
Oh,
lift
okay.
the stuff that was dumped off. So
So it was
so
big enough that it really was like, what, 20, 30 pounds?
yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Maybe
okay.
not quite. It's not
Yeah, I've seen those kind of sizes boxes of washing powder. I know how big they are.
Yeah, the big ones you
Yeah.
get from the yeah. That's
Yeah,
the
they
ones you
last a
get.
while though. Because I worked in hotels so for a while as a maid service. So yeah, besides cooking the restaurants and being in the scullery, I did work for a short time as a day laborer at a hotel, in maid service. Cleaning rooms. It's okay.
Right.
Just my legs were
I'll tell you one
tired
thing.
at the end of the day,
I can't
fixing
make a
all those
bed.
beds
Cannot.
and getting the room ready for the next group of people.
The way they can do it, some of the housekeepers, I can't do it remotely. I just make such a mess of it. So I'm like, nope, and I end up losing my temper. Throwing the bed sheets. I'm like, no, somebody else needs to do this. I can't do this. But sometimes you need to be ready to be able to do stuff like that if nobody else can do it. So in a lot of places they've got to, and they'll
I
come
think the
through and they'll
hardest
say,
thing.
no, that's not the way I would do it.
I think the hardest thing to me with the inn I was in, it was a 2-floor. We had those carts. You probably have them in your room service probably has them too. The carts have the cleaning supplies and supplies to rooms on them.
Oh,
And when you first get in, if you're on the second floor, you gotta get another one to help you carry the cart upstairs. And then once you get it up the
it's just the
stairs,
elevator.
you go about the different rooms and you stack up the toilet paper and if there's any, because we had coffee, and so you had to put coffee and tea in the room, um, and creamers and sugars, and of course fix the beds, and occasionally vacuum is necessary. Oh man, it was just a lot of work to do. And here
It's
I
hard work,
am,
that. Yeah.
this legally blind person, and yet oh yeah, I forget change the dirty towels out.
Yep. All that has to be done.
It took a while. I did it for 2 days. It was a day labor job, and it was like I wanted to go back for a third day. I guess I kind of messed up a little bit or something. I guess they decided not to give me a third day on the job. I really kind of liked it, but the thing was, it was hard. Was um constantly all that walking up and down
Yeah.
stairs. It's like holy crap.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize just how it's pretty intensive, especially if it's a lot of people, a lot of rooms to be done. And you've got to most places you've got to do things a certain way, and
Yeah, absolutely.
some people are really pernickety about how they want it, especially the housekeepers I know. They'll say, no, I don't like it like that. I'm like, okay, fine, you do it.
Yeah, for example,
Fine by me, I don't do this stuff.
take something as simple as toilet tissue. Now, fortunately, the toilet tissue is not a problem because I'm one of those that has, some people have the roll the toilet paper like the way the flap is, either an innie or outie. I'm an outie anyway. Okay, fortunately, the in was an outie, so I didn't have a problem learning how to do that. But they wanted me to fold the triangle of the edge of the toilet paper over, and I was like, really? Do we have to do this?
Why do I have to do that? Yeah. I don't. Some people have got strange ways of doing things, and you're like, what's the point? It's going to be used in one way. It doesn't matter how it looks.
Yeah, well, they're the one who's paying you, so you, you don't have much of a choice, right?
Nice
Craig says, Michelle, that would be great if they would just use a bigger Social Security check. Maybe a couple hundred a month. That would be just about right to make them survive without taking anything out of their savings. Exactly. Craig, I agree with you. There is proposals. Let me tell you what I know. There's proposals. Please note they're not passed legislation. One Joe Biden wants to do is give everybody an SSDI 125% of the federal poverty line, which is equal to $1,341 a month. Okay, that's what he wants to do for people in SSDI. SSI, he wants to give them 100% of the federal poverty line for $1,007, $1,008. Okay, nothing wrong with that, except how does it work if you get both? I mean, does that mean you're gonna get? Where's the cap? Where's the limit? How does that work? I don't understand that. Because Ed gets both, and he comes home with a total of $794 a month, and I don't even know how he can make it on that.
Yeah, some people just have to. I wonder how they can survive on certain amounts of the money they get. But I suppose in a way it does, which isn't nice in a way. It sort of makes people change their way of living. But people have to live. People have to enjoy themselves somehow.
Right.
Because you can't be doing this. What I mean? You've got to, because otherwise life would be pretty miserable.
And the sad truth is, during this summer, my electric bill has gone up quite a bit because Ed insists on sleeping with that fan, and I'm not a fan of fans, especially when running a high that's making me an earache. See, she's a much better stream host lately. See,
Charlotte's enjoying Freedom Day
chats.
Because down in England, they can all do what they want. Damn them.
They can all they want. What are you talking about?
Chats, yeah.
Oh, Freedom Day.
Yeah, Michelle, you use a reader, don't you?
Yeah, I'm reading the chats right now. Less stress, and she can be herself. Yes.
I think it's like if, I think it's if subjects have been changed, so you've got to look at the chat screen and stuff like that. And see, when I talk, Michelle, I know you mentioned before, does the subtitles come out okay, or is it too? Is it strange?
Yeah. But anyway, the point I'm trying to say is the the government has got to really needs to treat the people with disability better than they do. I really do think, that they need to seriously give us the kind of support that we need medically and financially. Because we're the most vulnerable of all the people. Because if something goes wrong, we lose out the most.
Right.
And that's something that worries me. Got a medical bill? You lose your house because you can't afford to pay the medical bill and pay for your rent. That's a reality. Gonna pay for your prescriptions? Then maybe you can't pay for your food. Or you can't pay your utilities, and all of a sudden your electric and gas is turned off. Or if
One
you're
of
lucky,
the
maybe they're
dental
not. But
stuff
then you
as
get
well.
stuck with a huge bill plus finance charges and other nasty things. And I have to tell you, that is frustrating. Because,
Mhm.
and some people say, well, you can't just go to your friends and family and ask for help. Well,
Right.
the answer to that question is depends on if you're an SSI or SSDI.
Okay, how is that different in terms of like family?
Supplemental Security Income is SSI. And on SSI, any money you get from friends, family is considered income. Believe it or
Got you.
not.
I know what you're going to
And
say now.
so
Yep.
they say, well, if you're getting, say, $500 from your mom, why do we have to give you so much money
Right.
since your mom is, so we'll offset it. So, which is kind of stupid because maybe your mom just did you a one-time favor, but if you don't report it, then you're going to go to jail for fraud. So, that's just
Yeah,
kind of stupid.
that's pretty. Yeah. So is
Okay.
it harder to get on the other one than it would be the one you just
So,
mentioned? I take it there's more rules for one.
on SSDI, they don't give it. They don't have a concern about that because SSD, well, it's the same thing as SSI. I know why different rules. I have no idea. However, then there's also the marriage penalty, which I think is kind of stupid. If you are disabled and this is on SSI primarily, but it also does kind of apply to SSDI too. If I marry somebody, and let's say another disabled person, then they're going to cut your benefits by a third for both of you. And then they're
For both
expecting you
people.
basically to live on a third of what could have been your combined income. Honey, listen, I'll tell you something. I don't know. If you want to marry somebody because they love them, they shouldn't be punished like that. Sure, maybe
Right.
now there's
Right.
two incomes coming in. Let's just say, make it easy, man. Let's just say $1,000. Cutting it to a third by a third, bringing them down to about $600, isn't going to help them to be able to pay for an apartment.
Of course not.
You know, but it seems again politicians don't really understand poverty because they're not poor. After all, they're all lawyers. They're all get law firms. They all have
Yeah. Yeah.
big budgets coming in from their congressional campaigns. They don't have to worry about this.
No, of course not.
So
And that's why you mentioned
if they
before.
truly had an idea what was going on with the rules and how it affects and chokes Social Security recipients, they probably would have been a little more empathetic and saying, "Yeah, you guys do need an increase."
Yeah, because it's almost like penalizing somebody for being married, if that makes sense, or
Yeah,
penalizing somebody for having a family and stuff like that, which it really should be the
exactly.
other way around, really. Yeah.
That's right. It's a marriage penalty, and yet the thing is like I said, if you get money from your family, you got to report that earnings on SSI.
Mhm. Otherwise, you're
Even
in
if it's
big.
just a one-time gift
Yeah.
of say like $100 or something like that. Otherwise, you're committing a felony. I I think it's not an SSI. Thank God, I got off SSI years ago. Because when my father passed away, he put me on as a disabled adult child. But the marriage penalty applies too for people with a disabled adult child. Because what happens is you'll lose the money from being a disabled adult child, which my father's money is what's paying for most of my SSD. So that's a lot of loss right there, just to marry somebody you love. And people are
Started off their
asking
money.
the federal government to get rid of the marriage penalty because it's really stupid. And I think it is stupid.
Yep, Charlotte, Freedom Day. I don't think she
Yeah.
agrees with me though.
Typically says that's how the welfare program made so many people, single moms and broken families. Exactly.
Right, I can see how that. Yep. Yep. I
I
think
mean,
there's a
how
similar thing
many
here actually.
boss cares if I have income or not? So neither should SSDI. I agree. But it's actually it's SSI that really pushes it. SSDI doesn't push it as large. And even though I shouldn't be required, I'm not required to pay taxes next year to avoid the fiasco which happened for a lot of people on the third stimulus. Only people who get paid first are those that had a tax record. They got paid first before everybody else did.
Okay.
And I am a 1099. Not only would I be eligible for the 1099 to obviously file a tax return, I also should be eligible for the earned income credit. So that's
the thing, Michelle, as well. I was going to say to you, I know a few people. They'll tell you that a lot of the government's agencies and the governments themselves, they don't actually tell you what else is available for you out there because they don't want you finding out. Basically, you've got to really do a lot of digging for information. What could be available
right.
to you, and it could be something really small, but it could make a little bit of a difference. But the governments don't want to really advertise how much they could really be giving somebody. It's usually
Yeah.
the other person that's got to really find out for themselves because they can be quite sneaky that way, if that makes sense as well.
I guess Charlotte wonders is if you get if you ended up pooping fire today.
No, I was okay, Charlotte. And see, I had 2 days of something chili, basically, Michelle. I had chili on Saturday, and I had spicy noodles this morning at 3 o'clock. So, but no, I didn't get any firebomb.
I don't think your guts are gonna like
That
you.
sounds really bad, by the way.
Yeah, I cannot handle spicy food.
I don't know what I was thinking of because it's been really hot lately as well. And I think to myself, well, surely if when it's this hot, you're gonna have something a bit cooler, something fresher. But no, I do things the opposite way around. So
Yeah,
always been like that.
well, definitely, as I said, I don't like hot spicy food. I like food that's mild.
Yeah, yeah. It's like some people like you'll say to them, okay, it's a mild curry or it's a mild chili, and they're like, and for me that would be almost there'd be no spice at all. But for that other person, they could be thinking, okay, I need 10 gallons of water to drink this, to eat this. You know, everyone's different. Everyone's different when it comes to that.
If I can
think
get
maybe
two
I've just
hundred
burnt my
dollars together
senses
and
up.
send it to your PayPal, would you be interested in using it for an air conditioner for your bedroom? I already have one in my bedroom. I need
Charlotte, I am not.
an air conditioner for the studio, and the problem is I need to be able to wire it into the 240 cooker outlet. So I'm gonna need to make an adapter plug.
So you've got a 240
Yeah, for the cooker.
cooker outlet in your.
Yeah, we
right,
have
okay.
240 for a
That's
cooker.
interesting. And that would use a lot of power, obviously.
You're pretty
compared
much
to-
right, Monica. It's pretty accurate. Actually, the whole apartment is not 120 amp fuse, so so we're lucky we haven't blown the fuse here too many times. The best one to plug it into would be the stove outlet or the cooker outlet, and just wire a cable to connect it to a 240 air conditioner to it, and then you'll be all set. But then you can't cook at the same time. But I don't think that's your biggest problem. And then just managing to get couple strong lads to bring it up the stairs.
Yeah, because you're like, it's like 2 floors or something.
If you get a 1 ton, is it possible to wire it into 220? Yes, in America it is. But if you were in the UK, you would need a step-down transformer.
Right.
Which they do have, because
Yeah, we do have them. Yeah.
because British Tools is for equivalent to OSHA. That's the Occupation Safety Hazard Administration. Requires all power tools to be isolated from the mains, and all power tools run at 120 volts in the UK for construction sites. They use a step-down transformer box. The American power tools in the UK.
See, I didn't even know that, Michelle. So I'm saying any electrical knowledge, I'll just come to this channel.
Yeah.
As long as it works and when I plug it in, I'm okay.
Right. As long as you see the plug fits your holes of your BS1363A outlet, you couldn't care less.
Right. If it doesn't work, someone fix this, Nah. It'd probably be a good idea if I was a bit more technical minded, but just I like to think I am, but then when it comes to the crunch, I'm like, what do I do now? So, what's this?
Yeah, I probably could have rented one from Rent-A-Center too.
Yeah.
But I would have to make the cable myself anyway, which I was gonna do, because originally we were going to make a converter using a transformer to convert from the United States center tapped 12220 system, 240 system, to the UK 240. We need isolation transformer for that. But those transformers for the size of 3,000 watts are very heavy. I can't believe how heavy they are. It's like 70 pounds. Not including the fuse board, not including, the disconnect for the US side and the disconnect for the EU or UK side.
Yeah.
Means that the UK side has to be wired by British standards and code, the book 18 code book, and the National Electrical Code has to be wired to 2020 electrical standards. So basically, it's kind of like a compromise between American and British wiring. Yeah, I could do it because I know both code books. So
I was about to say you seem quite
yeah.
clued up on this subject, so I think you'd be okay on that one. So did you were saying yesterday Ed was selling a few things on eBay? Is that one of his passions, or does he do that a lot? Is he a big seller and buyer?
A lot of the big okay. But you're selling a new things on eBay. Yes, it was selling secondhand train set on eBay, and we had to get pictures of it. We had to write the listing of it.
All right, all that stuff. Yeah, that's why I don't really bother with eBay. I will buy, but I'm not a fan of selling. If that makes sense.
I don't
You've got
mind
to do
buying
all that
stuff.
as
I
well.
don't mind buying stuff on eBay or Amazon, but to actually have to ship it and package it and get it out door to the post is a pain.
Yes.
How about a portable air conditioner which you vent out the window and you just move it from room to room? They have done by 12,000, which is sure to help you out. Yeah, but summer's almost over anyway, Craig. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Still would have to wire to the 220 outlet because it's the only one that could easily support the amperage you need to run those suckers. Because a person downstairs plugged in one of those downstairs and they blew a fuse, because the fuses, like my apartment, are shared among many rooms and appliances, and so it would have to be the cooker outlet would be the only one that's really available.
Yeah, I think some places could do with a portable air conditioner here at the moment. As you say, we're sort of like more than halfway through it now, so we're on the other side of it, I think. But I don't know, because sometimes you can get a little mini heat wave in sort of September, but it doesn't really usually last too long.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just summer's like half over. Well, theoretically, summer just started, but
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you're saying though.
But for us, by September, the heat pretty much starts to pipe down and starts to cool. The next thing you know, what you're dealing with Santa Claus and 18 reindeer on your roof, you know, and then
We
you're
call
like,
that the other C
and then
word.
you're doing the opposite worry. Now you're not worried about basically sweating to death. You're worried about freezing to death and sliding away on icy roads. Yeah. So
Shoveling snow, yeah. Just even thinking about it, I'm like, I don't know if it's such a good thing now,
yeah.
because I don't enjoy that.
You don't
Not
enjoy the
because
cold, or you just don't enjoy the ice.
I don't enjoy shoveling snow. When you wake up and it's like
Yeah,
piled up,
shoveling snow ain't
fucking
fun.
high and stuff, and it's like,
I don't even know how I would be able to shovel snow if I had to, with my knee as this. Maybe if I had a snow thrower or snow blower, that wouldn't be so bad, right? You know, just push
that'd be
behind
handy.
it and basically let the thing fling snow on the sides of the road, right?
Yeah, you could drive it up to the places you go, like the soup kitchen, or take your parcels with you that you're selling on eBay.
Well, you know, here's the thing: is that Ed wants to get a truck. Because he really wants to buy that travel trailer that the guy is offering downstairs.
Right.
And so if he can get the stimulus check, this is another reason why he's looking for the stimulus, is because maybe he can go to a used car lot and buy a truck. Because he was going to offer the trailer for a pretty reasonable price. But I said, like, you know, you're putting the cart before the horse. Now the trailer's your cart. Where's your horse? That would be the truck
Yep.
that pulls it.
Truck, yeah.
You know, you need the truck first, because the truck you can use right now. If you once it's registered and insured, you know, because he has a license,
Mhm.
problem solved. You can get things done. You can go out there and, you know, look for things that they throw on the curb and put out there on the curb and garbage day, electronics and things like that. Fix things up. Craig
Yeah, when I
asks,
am Craig,
Andrew, do
yes,
you
you do.
normally get a fair amount of snow during the winter?
Yeah, yeah. Where I am, you do. It's not always too
Typically
bad. I mean,
says
you
digging cars out after the plows come is the worst. Yeah.
yeah.
What happens to the free
Even
truck?
thinking
It
about it, I'm
has to
like,
call up the dealership and see if the truck is still available for free or reduced price. So this is Ed's ballpark. He has to make some phone calls. So
so has Ed got his heart set in the truck? Do you think he'll go for it?
um Michelle, basically, it's the landlord's problem to shovel. Yes, he does. He takes care of that. But right now, he's got a broken wrist. He can't
All right.
shovel either. So he has to get somebody else to do the shoveling. It gets hurt on his responsibility, and that could lead to a lot of money. Yeah. Well, like I said, he broke his wrist. He slipped on his own ice patch. So I fell first, and then he fell in the backyard, which is like a friggin' skating rink, and totally smashed up his right wrist. He can't use his right wrist for crap.
So is that why he? Because I remember, I think it was a few months ago when he not ask you to go and
Yeah.
change a plug or something like that. I can't remember, or a fuse or something.
Yeah. Well, that also because he doesn't know really how to test the fuses right.
Right, fair enough.
So after I went ahead and went down and checked the
Same Charlotte.
fuses, there was nothing wrong with the fuses. Actually, he came to me twice because he wanted me to go to Stockbridge to do the same thing. Well, in the case of Stockbridge, we have they had circuit breakers in the consumer unit, so it's a little easier. But the thing was, is I guess the maintenance guy forgot to trip on this one breaker. So, an hour and a half trip to get to Stockbridge just to flip a circuit breaker on. I was like, there's your problem.
Yeah, I'd be short circuiting the whole street.
So, also, his maintenance guy rerouted a cable through, but he didn't do it per code. So I told him, said, this cable's got to go. This is in violation of code. So many ways to Sundays, not even funny. So it was already this abandoned circuit anyway, so we just took it off the system. And he says, yeah. I see that. I said, well, what the hell did you do here anyway? It's like, this looks like a mess. I guess him and his maintenance guy to get rid of the two of the four sisters basically got 2 new water heaters to replace the 4 of them, and the problem was is he had 2 extra 220-volt circuits for the water heaters. He didn't know what to do with them, so they had next thing you have cables with live electricity hanging down, and I was like, this is bad, man. You shouldn't be doing this. It's an electrical disaster. I had to go in there and straighten out the mess. So, Greg says, I have a truck camper because I go to the beach a lot, and I use a 4-wheel drive, and the camper just slides into the back of the pickup truck. That's the cheapest way out. Yeah, I know. I've seen those. There's nothing wrong with that idea. Except if you ever got somebody complaining that you snore, I don't think they're going to enjoy being in a small little truck bed camper in the back. Michelle, you snore. Go sleep in the tent. Oh, what tent?
You'd have to remember to take one along just in case, I think. Whoever's a snorer, they have to go outside.
Yeah. Snore. Is there a snow? They have to go. So you mean for the bathroom and stuff? No, there's no water closet in a truck bed camper. Not that I can think of how you would even put one in there. So more likely you'll be tinkling in the woods.
Yeah, I was going to say you'd be in the trees.
Yeah. Michelle, folks don't realize, but it actually is 220 volts. It's cheaper to run than 120 volt. My air conditioner is a split Mitsubishi inverter type, which runs in 220, and costs me next to nothing to run. Yeah, but your system is a mini split, and it's also based on a more efficient design. Most window air conditioners are not so efficient. But yes, they are cheaper to run because there's no... the rest of the world is already using 220. Only America and Canada and Mexico and Japan insist on being 120. Which, if everybody was using the same voltage and the same outlet configuration, BS1363A, please, then you wouldn't have to worry about having to need things with multiple power supplies, the multiple voltages, the multiple plug adapters, and all that stuff. And I have solar panels on my roof. I have 38 solar panels, which offset the main cost of electric. Yeah, but you don't have a battery backup, do you? So if you lose power at the grid, you lose electricity at your inverter, too. See, this is the reason why it is far better to actually have a situation where you have your own battery backup. So that if your grid intertie dies, you can still get lights from your solar panels providing 120 or 220 power.
I think I was seeing the other day, the amount of wind turbines now off the coast here is just it's insane. They're absolutely everywhere. But
yeah,
they do say it's the greener way, solar power, wind power. But it can only go so far, I think. As you said, you're talking about backup.
Well, there's nothing wrong with wind turbines other than the fact that they are mechanical and they still need to be greased and oiled, and you're still having them sitting out there in the ocean, and they're still going to get rusty because of salt water contamination. Right. So, yeah, that's kind of a mixed situation where we do have in the United States there are places of wind farms too to make a difference. The problem is this country is so crap ass backwards because everybody's using 120 and they think 120 is this bee's knees. Excuse me, but 120 doesn't do crap. Not for this day and age of global. The majority of the world has decided that 220 is the better way to distribute power. 120 is a joke. It is. Really. Some countries even insisting on 3-phase power, which is kind of
Do you
cool.
think they'll ever change? Do you think they'll ever change it?
I think this country eventually will evolve over to the ability to maybe for new construction will start going to 220. Remember back in the 1900s when the UK had a variety of different voltages before it was standardized.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I thought about that. Like that.
So it may take a while before the United States finally standardizes on 220 and 60 cycles. They're probably not going to go for 50, but they might go with 60. Because it's just a matter of just rewiring the transformers on the poles. That's all. And changing out the consumer units. Because our circuit breakers are not rated for they're not rated for 240 volt.
240, yeah.
So I mean our circuit breakers would have to be replaced with magnetic circuit breakers that are rated for 240. The panels themselves, most cases, probably would be fine, but they would just have to combine the two bus bars together, which means there will be no more double pole breakers in the panels because you wouldn't need them anymore. So get him he has headphones. And I told him, I said, why don't you put the gray headphones on? I mean, the purple headphones on. Just unplug the headphone cord from the bottom and just put them on your ears. And then he said, well, you can't hear the fan. So you want
to... there's always a problem.
Always gives me an excuse. Like, okay, well, there's your solution right next to you on the computer table, and you couldn't even do that.
Michelle, I don't know if you've been noticing the news, the flooding in Germany and Belgium.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, over 150
so they're
people
getting
died.
plenty of water.
It's crazy because here we're needing some water, but just they're getting absolutely covered in it.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing on the East Coast. We're getting lots of rain, and then the West Coast is basically parched, dry, and
Monica's
barren.
Send that rain over to her.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was wondering is how come the United States and maybe you in Europe should do the same thing? Why don't you connect all the water systems together? Like a water grid. So all the water that Germany is getting, they could just filter, treat it, and then put it into the municipal water system and the other countries having drought can use.
We usually get too much water anyway, so maybe, I don't know.
Well, maybe you can't do it right now, but I would definitely have your electrician prepare for the opportunity for the upgrade for the future. It's a good backup, and it's something I'm considering. If you already spend all that money on solar panels, there's no reason why you can't go ahead and put the batteries into and charge controller. It's no big deal. You can upgrade the system slowly as you go.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, but it could be done. I mean, it's like you do with computers, right? Like my computer here. I didn't, have the perfect computer right out of the box. I had to put a lot of upgrades into it as I went along. Monica says several long conversations with Michelle myself about this soaring in the hearing with the fans running all night, and I have offered to send her industrial strength of your earbuds for free. Michelle, yeah, wind turbines are all right, but look what happened to Texas. I believe they got a nice windstorm, and then the whole town lost power. I know NASQ City. I have the friend that lives there. I speak too often. Unfortunately, she can't have complete silence, and neither can And we need to find a happy medium. Earbud plug for them. Right. I like it quiet, but I don't like it. I don't like it like funeral home quiet. You know.
Yeah, so you can't hear
I need to
anything.
be
Yeah.
able to listen for things like fire alarms, smoke alarms, the cat.
Yeah, that's very important. Yeah, talking of which, where is he today? Is he in? Or is he out?
Yeah. Ed is. Well, the cat is inside, outside. The rest, Ed is laying down and sleeping. I didn't forget Silver Blues who bothers him so much. Well,
The headset that I got,
he could
I
always
can't
sleep in
hear
the
it.
living room, but he knows that. But but then it hurts his back because my couch isn't exactly, very nice on his back.
Right.
You know, as far as snoring goes, you can't do much about snoring. Well, not economically anyway. I mean, you're gonna snore.
That's
You're gonna snore. All right,
that's it.
it's okay. And if you're sleeping with
The
a
only way you're gonna
loud
solve that
fan whirring
is if you stay
around,
awake.
kicking dust in or another nasty stuff up in the air, and you're worried about me snoring, you got a bigger problem. He's inhaling all that pollen and dust into his lungs.
Does Ed smoke?
No, thank
Oh, okay.
God.
'Cause sometimes smokers can tend to snore a bit more.
Yeah, they do. I don't smoke either, so
No, I was gonna say I've never seen you sitting there with a cigar or a cigarette or anything like that. Not yet,
no.
anyways.
Monica says, unfortunately, she can't have complete silence, and neither can Ed. We need to find
Charlotte.
it. Monica, exactly right, but I don't forget severe place. It bothers me. Andrew, how are you doing with the heat? Says Charlotte.
Not too bad. Yes, I think Sunday. Well, I say Sunday, Saturday into Sunday. It was a nightmare to sleep. But last night, this morning, it wasn't too bad because I had the works air conditioner right at my back, so I didn't really worry about it too much. But
Yeah.
it's really warm again today because it's, as I was saying to Michelle, it's like been 30 degrees again in most places. And this has been for, I don't know, a few days now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we had some warmer days the weekend. So yeah. But we're gonna be seeing a slight reprieve, but tomorrow's gonna be 30 again, so it's gonna be hot again tomorrow.
I think out in the wire was saying the other day that it's been so dry where he is that
Yeah.
the farmers are just desperate for water, but they've lost so much crops. He was saying, so it's almost too late to save most of the crops or something like that.
Yeah,
It's been
it
so bad
is.
there.
It is dry where I don't know where it is. It is equally dry where Monica is right now. At the major hydroelectric dam in her area of the country, Lake Mead and the big dam, Hoover Dam, right now are seriously the water level so low that eventually the generators are going to have to be turned off because there's not going to be enough water to make the
Right.
turbine spin. And that means that a whole bunch of area are going to be seriously at the risk of a power blackout when everybody wants the air conditioner the most.
Yeah, especially right now. I think most people are, like Charlotte's saying, the heat can basically get lost. we don't like it, Michelle. We're not used
Yeah.
to it. Not for extended periods of time, anyway.
Not for excessive period of heat. No, I tend to like it cooler. Like right now is moderately okay. I mean, it's still even the humidity is still high, but it's not oppressive. I got the fan on low over here by my arm, and then I got the other fan in the window that's on low.
Monica was saying she has sleep apnea. I knew somebody that had that, and it's quite scary when you see somebody. They'll sort of like almost stop breathing,
Yeah, sleep apnea.
and then suddenly they're like, and they make a noise, and it's like, wow, okay. what's happening there, but then it's basically that's what it is.
Yeah, I know it's sleep apnea does to you, Monica. Um, I some people wonder if I have it. I may. They say a lot of people that snore do have it. Um, but I have not woken up like I was choking, gagging, or wheezing for the majority of the time. Most of the time, I wake up fine. But I've had my scares with it. So,
Does anyone know? Do you ever have those when you're just about to fall asleep? Have those drop effects when you're almost away to fall asleep, and then suddenly you get this almost fallen down feeling, and you just wake up again?
no, I'm fine.
Or is it just one of my strange things that I get?
I just coast into the land and nod, and then when I wake up, it's more like I just kind of just slide out again. It's not even like a major deal for me.
See, my problem is getting to sleep. Once I'm asleep, it takes a bomb to wake
Yeah,
me, but
I
it's
know what you mean,
getting to
because your
sleep.
mind is always racing with ideas, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like that.
Because I'm always thinking about the ideas, what to do the next day, or if find something that's really exciting, all of a sudden my mind's racing a little bit possibilities of what they can do with it I just learned. And then of course you look at the clock and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. It's like, oh no, I gotta get up at 8:30.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
Try to sleep.
And then by the time you do have to get up, then you're really tired and you could sleep, but you're like, oh well, nothing I can do now. I've got to get up anyway. So
Um, I don't know if CPAP is really necessarily that comfortable. I really don't know anything about CPAP
yeah,
machines.
yeah, Charlotte knows what I mean. Yeah, it's like a jolted effect. You get jolted out of a sleep. It's hard to explain, but Charlotte sort of
Yeah.
she knew what I was talking about there. I thought that's a crap machine. Sorry. That's a new one.
Yeah. Well, you talk to people who have a CPAP machine, they probably would call it a crap
Yeah.
machine. I have to put this face mask on to sleep. Great.
Well, I find a lot of these things that people say to you, if you're struggling to get to sleep, bar like heavy drugs or something like medication, I should say, they'll say things like, "Oh, count sheep, put a blindfold on, try and read a book," and they'll all the most ridiculous
Well,
one.
the thing is
Try
for
and clear your
me
mind.
is I sleep better when the sun's out than when it's dark. So I tend to take a lot of naps in the day. And then when it's
Right.
especially in the summer, and then in the night when it's cooler and the moon's out, it's when I'm up. In the wintertime, it's the opposite. Usually in the wintertime, I'm up early. Right now, this year, we've been doing my winter schedule during the summer so that I can try to get these shows in and keep them on at a regular time. So what I do is after I do the meals on feet, get the food, then I come back home and I lay on the bed. And Ed's already laying on the bed, sprawled out like men are. They like to stretch. Yeah. So basically, want to boot me basically to the floor without meaning to, give me a small slice of bed. Then I end up sleeping. Then he wakes up, and then he moves into the couch in the bedroom. Then I can finally flip over, take some of the more of the bed. It's kind of a crazy setup. I don't think the mattress is doing too bad about that, but I mean, seriously, I think the mattress seller would have been like, "Holy crap! This mattress ain't designed to take this much weight." I mean, two white-bodied people lying on this bed together. Yeah.
Yep, you'd be a salesperson's dream if you went to a mattress store.
Yeah.
But anybody is, because people, as I said, salespeople will try and sell anyone anything. I always say, if you want something, you'll buy it. I don't like people that will phone you up and
Well, the mattress I bought, I bought because I liked it. Originally, it was just me on the bed. Okay, and then,
right.
and it's a foam mattress. It's a plush mattress. It's called a Charlotte.
There you go, Charlotte.
Yeah, at least Charlotte or Mod there. Yeah. It's nice. It's a full size like foam mattress. It's not one of those memory foam, but still, it's nice. And for me, when I get on the bed, because I have the bum knee, I can basically, get on the bed, flip on the bed, roll over a little bit, find a spot, snore, go to sleep, and wake up the next a few hours later. And now I got Ed on the bed. He takes the whole damn thing, and then it's like, I only get a little tiny piece of the mattress. He got the rest of it.
Yeah, it can be a nightmare when it's like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, Charlotte, when it's this
exactly,
hot,
Charlotte.
yeah.
He's like laying next to a space heater. I don't need the additional heat in the summertime. So sometimes he'll do is he'll put the comforter between me and him because he doesn't want to sleep next to a space heater either. So we'll see. So basically, he's using the comforter as insulation between the two sides. So now you have to deal with the comforter on top of everything else.
I was going to say the same thing as Charlotte's just saying. You've got Rusty. Does Rusty like sleep on your bed as well, or what does he do?
Yeah, he does. He sleeps on the bed,
Right.
and that's not something to move over to my nightstand. And he just watches. Or sometimes he'll jump. He'll crawl up behind my head on the pillow, and that's about the best. Fame would have been laying where Ed is. So knowing Fame, he'd probably laying right on top of Ed's face.
That's one way to stop him snoring, Michelle. Get Ed to go.
Yeah, except then he'd be sneezing from his own cat hair.
Yeah, fair enough.
Craig says, Shirley, it's good that you sleep alone. You have no one bugging you that you're snoring, anything like that. Oh, that is. Yeah, I kind of missed that part. So, what we do is, I let Ed sleep in the day. And then, like I said, after I do meals and feet, I come in, I lay down. Then he figures out I might as well get up and sleep on the couch for a little bit. So Michelle can sleep in the bedroom, which is fine.
Taking turns. It's my turn.
And it just confuses the hell out of everybody when we do that, because it's like. So, right now we got 9 people on, 9 likes, that's good. Just to let everybody know, I would like to remind you, if you can make it, to please do check out the Silvermoon Radio AM16 broadcasts. They are available on the Patreon page. I didn't upload last night's yet, because I want to make a slight edit on it first to remove the one thing I said in the show, which kind of seemed like out of character. Well, okay, so I'll take that out. It's no big deal. I don't think it's going to hurt anybody.
Yeah, Michelle, I was going to ask you about this. Have you thought about that thing you were talking about? We were talking about the voiceover project you were going to be considering. Have you thought about it more?
Oh, you mean for for radio serials?
Yeah.
Old time radio shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're looking for voice people to do the voice acting, character positions in the scripts, so that we can actually prepare a radio serial that we can upload to the Discord during the AM 1610 Silvermoon City radio show. Some locally produced content. And I think that can make a big difference. Cool. What does Monica say here? Monica says, my God, I just thought of something for Michelle. The personal air conditioner. Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah.
That would actually be pretty good.
Grieve 3-year girl had one. She said it works okay for her a little bit. Probably me, I'd be interested in a suit that's cooled by ice that they make. this ice cooling suit that uses ice water circulating through little pipettes and the material that you put on, and there's a little container with ice in it and a little electric pump that pumps the water through the suit.
That'd definitely cool you down, that's for sure.
Yeah. Michelle, once you get used to CPAP machine, it's not as uncomfortable at all, and it does make me sleep better with no snoring. Well, I don't think I can afford to take on more expenses right now. I already got enough expenses right now in my life. So maybe if the government finally gets off their bum and does something right for change and gets the Social Security reform passed that they kept talking about, and stop flapping their gums and actually do something, we might be able to do something about that.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah. Because right now I also got asthma, so I have an inhaler, so yeah. Like my doctor told me, he says, if you can use your inhaler before you start doing a lot of heavy chores, so that you can have your airways all set before you
Right.
start doing heavy work, so work better. I said, okay.
That's the same thing I'm thinking about.
Cake says, Andrew, I have the same thing. I'm thinking about all the stuff on my mind. When so our library has a free audiobook website where you can get any audiobook you want for up to 5 at a time, and that works. Okay. Yeah, that's an idea. You can get those. You can get to go to the was it archive.org, and you can get audiobooks. You can also get radio serials.
Right.
So
I'm quite tired still, so my mind's still not quite sharp as it normally would be.
Yeah.
I think everyone's on a bit of a go slow, but yeah, I see what you mean now, Craig.
Yeah. Oh, we don't have free audiobooks in our library, but how do you return them when you're done?
Yep, exactly. Make sure the tapes are wound and I suppose.
I mean, sure. I mean, if it's a
now,
website, which means you're going to download it, and then you're going to listen to them, and then so how do you do to return them? Do you have to show that you erased them?
I don't think you would really return them. I think it would be a case of just maybe they wouldn't work after a certain length of time once you've downloaded them.
By the way, there is commercial websites with books. Audible.com has books that you can buy for a monthly subscription to the Audible library. So if you want to get books you can download. And of course, I am eligible to the Library of Congress, Talking Books for the Blind. I don't have a talking book machine here. I have my parents' house. I do. But seriously, the biggest problem is right now I got enough crap in my life. I just kind of keep trying to simplify it.
Yeah, keep things simple, like sort of not too much going on at once type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear what you mean.
So what I try to do is before I go to sleep is I try to get as much done as I can, and then I tend to go to sleep, and then anything I missed, like in the morning, first thing I do, I get up as I take out the garbage. Then I go dump the humidifier or the air conditioner bucket. That's underneath the window that catches all the water over the railing. Give the cat his breakfast. Cleaned up, brushed up for the day. So there's talk briefly in the morning the sport group. Then at 10 o'clock I do the show. Then I do meals and feet. Then I go, as I said, I take a nap for a while. Then next thing you know, about 6 or 7 o'clock, Ed and I are running down to his package store to get him his beer. And then
He needs to get some exercise, Michelle. I think
he's going out with
he's
me now.
all right. That's not too bad. At least
Yeah,
he's coming along with you to get
I'm
you.
trying to get him to get out of bed too. Same reason,
Right.
So
That's actually not so
he's
bad.
walking now around too. But he's got problems with his back too, so it's hard
Right.
for him. But he's trying. At
At
least
least he's
he's
making the
making an
effort to
effort.
come. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. And he gives you it's both of you doing it, not just yourself
Yeah,
that's having to take all the shopping back and Ed's beer. And
yeah.
I like Charlotte's way of relaxing. Serial killer podcast. Charlotte,
By the way,
I think
Craig,
this is
don't forget that you can also make donations with Super Chat and Super Stickers too. Um, just wanted to let people know that. For some people, that might be easier because sure we don't get the money right away, but it's some people might prefer that better than going through PayPal for reasons of you don't have to worry about me having your address and stuff on file when you make the donations. It's YouTube takes care of all that, and I just get the donation you get. Plus, they take their their fee, but that's usually not that bad. It's like 70-30. I get 70% of the donations, and YouTube gets the other 30%. So let's make it easy. So if you send $1, I get 70 cents, where YouTube gets 30 cents.
right. I was saying earlier on, I'm definitely wanting a mug at least at the end of the month. So, how much are your mugs? I mean, like what? I actually haven't looked, Michelle. I need to.
They're not that expensive. I think the mugs are
No, it's
I think the mugs are a little more expensive than the other things, only
that's fine.
because they're made out of they're pretty big, and they're also pretty heavy material.
Because I do actually collect things like that anyway. When I'm out and about and say I might go to a place and I see a mug, I'll never use it, but I'll say, right, okay, I've got to have that, and just
Yeah.
it's one of those things you collect. Some people collect,
Right.
I don't know,
Right.
ornamental sheep or something like that. My one is mugs and tankards and stuff like that. I
Right.
like metal tankards also.
Make sure that she gets her AdSense if she's less than $100 a month. Right. Exactly.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Because what happens otherwise with the AdSense is that the balance will carry over to the next month.
Next month, yeah, true.
So if we can keep the AdSense at like 160 as we have been, then at least that helps to keep things steady so that I know with at least some guarantee how much money I'm going to be expecting. And that was important because when we had that strike and we weren't allowed to stream for a whole freaking month, we lost a lot of AdSense that time. And, it's going to be money
Yeah,
that we.
that was a bit of a nightmare that time. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, that time.
Thankfully, Lumi helped out, and she came to the rescue a bit.
Well, the money that
you were.
Lolly did donate did help because that
Oh
helped.
no! I was saying, thankfully, Lumi helped out. When she came to the rescue a
I
bit.
think if I don't know why Lolly hasn't been here on the show in the last few days. I don't know the story behind that. I'm not going to get in the middle of the drama stories. I know I've heard drama, but I don't want to deal with the drama. Just that it's surprising that Lolly herself hasn't come on the show.
I think she had an accident. I think she fell or something.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I'm not sure. But I haven't really seen her lately. As I say, I'm quite tired. I haven't had much sleep, so I haven't really caught up on people today.
Yeah.
I like to do the rounds, but I'll do that once I've had a sleep.
Well, it's time for us to get ready to wrap up anyway. So if you want to go home and go to bed and take a nap or whatever, this would be a good time for you because we're gonna get ready to wrap up the show for the morning anyway. Because it's just about time for me to go over to the soup kitchen, get the food, and come back here.
Well, Michelle, thanks for having me up on the chat. It's always a pleasure.
Yep, no problem. I'll see you probably tomorrow in the morning show.
Yeah, I'll definitely be in at some point. Maybe a bit later, but because I'm back to normal. But thanks, Michelle.
All right. Yep, you have a nice night. Okay, so basically, I gotta go get the meals and feet. And Yeah, I understand he's tired. He's been, trying to keep up with his, night shift where he works and everything. So I understand that. Um, I hope it's a nice and soup kitchen. I mean, the biggest problem is that they sure have a lot of plastic packaging and stuff like that. I really would like to see if they could kind of consolidate some of the packaging together. For example, the pie tins with the food in it. There's no reason why you couldn't have easily put them all in one bag instead of having a bunch of individual serving bags set up. But there's a reason. Um, so Andrew, you go ahead, get your Z's, and you guys, thank you very much for watching the show. And please do not forget to let others know the show, but please let them know if they're going to read new subs that they have to be subbed for a day before they can post in the live chat. It may not be the greatest news for the trolls, but it's great news for us mods because it helps us to, you know, see who's coming in and also gives them a chance to check out the content as well. So that's a big deal. And yeah, Rusty's around here somewhere. I don't know if he might be on the couch. I have no idea. I fed him this morning, so he is in here or outside, one or the other. So, but for now, you guys do me a favor. You have a nice day. Stay out of trouble. Keep cool. Keep hydrated, and we'll see you together tomorrow. Okay? Bye bye. Bye bye, guys.